I thought I had everything figured out. 5 years of marriage, a beautiful house, successful careers. Daniel and I looked perfect on paper, but lately, I felt like a ghost haunting my own life. Daniel, did you see the email I sent about couples therapy? I asked one evening as he walked through the door. He kissed my forehead without making eye contact. I'm exhausted. Mia, can we talk about this later? We never talk about anything anymore. I have a deadline, he said, already heading toward his office. I'll grab dinner later. The door clicked shut, and I stood alone in the hallway. Again, that's when I started noticing Ryan's likes on my Instagram posts. My ex-boyfriend from college. We started messaging innocent at first, just old friends catching up. Remember that road trip to the mountains? Ryan texted one night. You got us lost for 3 hours. I typed back, smiling. But we found that amazing diner. You ordered 3 desserts. He remembered. Daniel couldn't remember the last time he'd looked at me, really looked at me. But Ryan remembered desserts from 10 years ago, when Daniel's 35th birthday party came up. I invited Ryan. I told myself it was harmless. Jessica helped me hang string lights in the backyard. Why are you inviting your ex to Daniel's birthday? Ryan's just an old friend, I said, adjusting a lantern. Mia. She crossed her arms. What are you doing? Nothing. I just want Daniel to notice me again. Her expression told me she knew I was lying to myself. The party was perfect. Too perfect. I'd bought expensive appetizers, hired a bartender, created a playlist Daniel would love, and he barely acknowledged any of it. Carol, Daniel's mother, arrived first. Store-bought appetizers, she said, her voice dripping with disappointment. I suppose you were too busy to cook. I had a work deadline, I said. Already reaching for wine. Daniel's tech friends clustered around him near the grill, discussing some launch I didn't understand. He wore the shirt I'd bought him but hadn't mentioned it. Hadn't mentioned my dress, either. The blue one, he used to say, made my eyes sparkle. I refilled my wine glass. Then again, Mark, Daniel's best friend, worked the grill while shooting me concerned looks. Jessica stayed close, watching me drink too much too fast. Then Ryan arrived. Mia. He walked straight to me, ignoring everyone else. You look absolutely stunning. Something warm bloomed in my chest. Ryan, thanks for coming. Wouldn't miss it. He touched my arm, his eyes locked on mine. How've you been? We drifted toward the bar, and suddenly I was laughing, really laughing. Ryan remembered my college stories, asked about my work, listened when I talked. Remember Professor Morrison's class? Ryan said, leaning closer. The one where you fell asleep and snored during the midterm. I was exhausted. You kept me up all night studying. I could feel Jessica's disapproval from across the yard. Mark's jaw was tight, but I didn't care. For the first time in months, someone was paying attention to me. Then I noticed Daniel glancing over. Finally, let's take a photo, Ryan suggested, pulling out his phone. As we posed, he whispered near my ear, he's an idiot for not appreciating you. The words ignited something reckless inside me, something desperate and stupid and destructive. Daniel looked over again. I grabbed Ryan's face and kissed him. Not a small kiss, a real one, the kind that makes a statement. The backyard went silent. The music kept playing, some indie song Daniel loved, but every conversation stopped dead. I pulled back, my heart hammering, expecting to see jealousy in Daniel's eyes, maybe anger, maybe finally some emotion directed at me. Instead, I saw devastation, complete and utter devastation mixed with disgust. Carol gasped, her hand flying to her chest. Oh my God. Mark dropped his spatula. It clattered against the concrete. Jessica stood frozen, her mouth open in horror, and Daniel just stared at me like I was a stranger, like I'd just murdered something precious right in front of him. Daniel walked inside without a word. The party dissolved instantly. People grabbed coats and bags, mumbling awkward goodbyes. Some wouldn't even look at me. Ryan tried to approach me. Mia. That was Mark stepped between us, his voice low and threatening. Get out now. Hey man, I said get out. Ryan left, shooting me one last look I couldn't decipher. Jessica stayed, her arms crossed. What the hell were you thinking, Mia? I don't know. My hands were shaking. The wine made everything feel distant, unreal. You humiliated him. At his own birthday party. Carol appeared beside me, her face red with fury. You've humiliated my son. In his own home, on his birthday. I always knew you weren't good enough for him. She left before I could respond. Before I could tell her she was right, when everyone was gone. I went inside on trembling legs. Daniel sat on the couch in the dark, his head in his hands. Daniel. My voice cracked. Daniel, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted you to notice me. You've been so distant and you kissed another man. His voice was quiet, controlled. At my birthday party, in front of my mother, my friends, my colleagues, you humiliated me because you felt neglected. I'm sorry, I sobbed, reaching for him. He stood and stepped back, like my touch would burn him. I've been distant because I've been planning something, he said slowly. I've been working overtime for 3 months to save up for the vacation you've always wanted, to Paris. I was going to surprise you tonight, after everyone left. I had the tickets in my office. The room tilted. Daniel, don't. He held up his hand. Just don't. I need you to sleep in the guest room tonight. I can't even look at you right now. I didn't sleep. I lay in the guest room, replaying the kiss, Carol's face, Daniel's devastation. Over and over until dawn. Daniel left for work early without saying goodbye. I called Jessica, sobbing. I ruined everything. He was planning a surprise trip to Paris. He wasn't ignoring me. He was working for me. Jessica sighed heavily. Mia, you need to fix this. But you also need to understand that trust doesn't heal overnight. What you did, it was public. It was cruel. I know. Over the next few days, I tried everything. I cooked his favorite meals that he wouldn't eat. I wrote long apology letters he didn't read. I begged him to go to marriage counseling. He finally agreed to one session. Alina, our therapist, was kind but direct. Mia, can you explain why you kissed Ryan? I felt invisible, I said, my voice small. I wanted Daniel to care. So you punished him for something you never clearly communicated? Alina asked gently. Daniel spoke for the first time in days. I thought we were happy. I thought I was being a good husband by working hard to give us a better life. And you kissed your ex because I didn't compliment your dress enough. His words were knives. Alina gave us homework communication exercises, date nights, honesty journals, but I could see in Daniel's eyes that he was already gone. Then the video surfaced. Someone had recorded the kiss and posted it online. Within days, it was everywhere. Comments ranged from sympathy for Daniel to outright hatred toward me. My company's HR called me in. We need to discuss your recent situation. It's affecting our professional reputation. Daniel's colleagues sent him messages, some supportive, many mocking. Carol called me directly. You've made our family a laugh. I hope you're proud of yourself. I wasn't. I'd never been less proud in my entire life. Ryan kept texting. I ignored him for days, but eventually, desperate to talk to someone who didn't look at me with disgust, I agreed to meet for coffee. So everything's falling apart? Ryan asked, after I told him about the divorce papers being drawn up. Yeah, I wiped my eyes. Everything. So, you're basically single now. I looked up, confused. No, Ryan, I'm trying to save my marriage. He leaned back, his expression shifting to something calculating. Come on, Mia. You kissed me because you wanted to. You're not happy with him? You never were. That's why you reached out to me in the first place. I reached out because you were an old friend, I said, feeling sick. Was one. He smiled. Or were you looking for a way out, and I just happened to be available? The truth in his words made me want to throw up. Daniel sounds boring anyway, Ryan continued. You need someone who actually pays attention to you. Someone like me. I stood up, knocking my chair back. You don't care about me. You never did. You just wanted to cause drama. Ryan shrugged. You caused the drama. Mia, I just participated. Don't blame me because you destroyed your own marriage. I left, blocking his number immediately. That night I told Daniel about the meeting. He barely reacted. It doesn't matter anymore. The damage is done. 3 weeks after the party, Daniel moved out. The house felt enormous without him. Every room echoed with memories of what we used to be. Linda, my younger sister, came to stay with me. She worked night shifts at the hospital, so during the day, we'd sit in the kitchen while I cried and she made tea. I've never seen you like this, Linda said. You've always been the strong one, the confident one. What happened to you, Mia? I didn't have an answer. I started seeing Alina individually. In one session, she asked, do you love Daniel? Or do you love the idea of being married to Daniel? I struggled to answer. I love him. Then why did you prioritize winning a game over his feelings? Alina asked. That's what the kiss was, wasn't it? A game to provoke jealousy. But you forgot that games have consequences. The divorce papers arrived on a Wednesday. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at them, my hands shaking. Linda held my shoulder. You don't have to sign right away. But what was the point in delaying? That evening, I called Daniel. He answered on the fourth ring. I got the papers, I said, my voice breaking. I know. Daniel, please, can we try again? I'll do anything. A long silence. Then, Mia, I looked at you differently after that night. I don't see my wife anymore. I see someone who could hurt me intentionally, publicly, without thinking about consequences. I can't come back from that. I signed the papers a week later. The divorce would be finalized in 6 months, but emotionally, it was already over. I threw myself into work, but the viral video had damaged my reputation. Clients requested different account managers. My boss suggested I take a leave of absence until things died down. Then I saw the photo on social media. Daniel and Sophia, his colleague from work, at a company dinner. They weren't doing anything inappropriate, just talking, laughing, but the way he looked at her, with genuine warmth and openness, shattered me. Jessica came over that night and found me drunk, scrolling through Daniel's social media. Stop torturing yourself, she said, taking my phone away. He's moving on, Mia. He's allowed to move on. It's only been 2 months, I sobbed. 2 months since I destroyed everything. No, Jessica said firmly. It's been 2 months since the kiss. But your marriage had problems before that. You felt neglected. He was emotionally absent. You both failed to communicate. The kiss was just the explosion of something already broken. But her words didn't comfort me, because Daniel might have been distant, but he'd never been unfaithful. He'd never been cruel. He'd been working to surprise me while I'd been plotting to hurt him. Carol saw me at the grocery store and literally turned her cart around to avoid me. Mark posted a photo of him, Daniel, and Sophia at a baseball game with the caption, "Good friends make life better." I'd been erased from Daniel's life. At my next therapy session, Alina asked me what I'd learned. That you can't manipulate people into loving you, I said quietly, and that some mistakes can't be undone. 4 months after the party, I ran into Daniel at our favorite restaurant. He was with Sophia. They were sitting at the table where he'd proposed to me 6 years ago. Something inside me broke. I approached their table before I could stop myself. Daniel's face hardened. Mia, don't. But I couldn't help myself. Really, Daniel, our table, our restaurant. Sophia looked uncomfortable, starting to stand, but Daniel gently touched her hand. Stay, he said to her. Then to me, we're divorced, Mia. This isn't your restaurant anymore. We're not officially divorced for 2 more months, I said, my voice cracking. And you're already replacing me. Daniel stood, his voice low but firm. You don't get to do this. You don't get to make a scene because I'm trying to move forward with my life. You kissed another man at my birthday party. You humiliated me. You destroyed what we had. And now you're upset because I'm having dinner with someone who actually respects me. Sophia stood. Daniel, I'll wait outside, she said softly, giving me a sympathetic look that somehow made everything worse. When she left, Daniel's expression softened slightly. Mia, I don't hate you, but I can't love you anymore either. What you did showed me that you never really saw me as a partner. You saw me as a prop in your life, something to make you feel secure. When I didn't perform the way you wanted, you punished me in the cruelest way possible. I was hurting, I whispered. So you made sure I hurt more, he said. That's not love, Mia, that's selfishness. He walked past me, leaving me standing alone in the restaurant. The other diners were staring. I'd made another scene. I couldn't stop destroying things. I hit rock bottom on a random Tuesday in March. I was alone in the house that would soon be sold. I'd lost my job. Most of my friends had distanced themselves. Even Linda was getting frustrated with my inability to move forward. Stood in Daniel's old office and found the printed Paris itinerary in a drawer. Hotels with Eiffel Tower views. Reservations at romantic restaurants. Tickets to a ballet I'd mentioned wanting to see years ago. He'd remembered everything I'd destroyed. Everything. I called Alina in crisis. She talked me through the panic attack and scheduled an emergency session. In her office, I finally broke completely. I want to die, I sobbed. I've ruined my entire life over one stupid, impulsive moment. Alina handed me tissues and waited for me to calm down. You made a terrible mistake, she said, but you're not defined by your worst moment. You're defined by how you grow from it. How do I grow from this? I asked. Everyone hates me. Daniel hates me. I hate myself. You start by forgiving yourself, Alina said. Not forgetting what you did, not excusing it, but acknowledging that you're human and flawed, and that you deserve the chance to become better. That night, I wrote Daniel one final letter, not asking for forgiveness, Not asking for another chance. Just apologizing, sincerely, for everything I'd put him through. Mailed it without expecting a response. Then I started the hard work of rebuilding myself. The divorce was finalized on a sunny day in May. I signed the final papers in Mr. Patterson's office, officially ending my marriage. I moved into a small apartment across town and started over. New job at a smaller marketing firm where nobody knew about the viral video. Weekly therapy sessions. A support group for people navigating divorce and shame. Slowly, painfully, I started to forgive myself. Linda visited often, bringing groceries and patience. Jessica started inviting me to things again, though she made it clear that rebuilding our friendship would take time. I ran into Mark at a bookstore 6 months after the divorce. He was civil but cold. "How's Daniel?" I asked, unable to help myself. Mark hesitated. "He's happy. He and Sophia are together officially now. She's good for him. She's steady." I nodded, tears stinging my eyes. "I'm glad he found someone better." Mark's expression softened slightly. "For what it's worth, Mia, I hope you find peace. What you did was wrong, but I think you've suffered enough." His words were a small kindness in an ocean of consequences. Daniel never responded to my letter, and I didn't expect him to. Some apologies don't earn forgiveness. They just acknowledge harm done. I learned to live with the weight of my mistake. I learned that insecurity and poor communication can destroy even good things. I learned that you can't manipulate someone into loving you the way you want, and that seeking validation from the wrong people leads to disaster. Most importantly, I learned that I could survive the consequences of my own actions. The regret would never fully leave, but I could carry it without letting it destroy who I was becoming. One thoughtless kiss had cost me everything, but in the ruins, I was slowly building something new, a version of myself who would never make that mistake again. Asterisk, asterisk.